Hello and welcome. We are just over 1 week away until the brand new Ninjago City Workshops gets released. So this is coming out on the 1st of March for £219.99 and it is item number 71837. But what I want to do is cover this along with all of the other Ninjago modular sets in much greater detail because I want to figure out the best way to display it for me, and I think I've made enough space now to have them displayed as a long line. But it just depends on what order I do them in. So it more than likely makes sense having them displayed in the year order that they actually came out, and I would imagine that would work. But this one is the first one where it's inverted corner, so it might make things a little bit more tricky, because I think the next one of these is also going to be another corner where then you'll be able to make a perfect rectangle, and it will take away just having them as a long line. And then I think you might be able to make a really nice water diorama because all the water bits and pieces will be back to back. So we'll be taking a good look at this one towards the end of the video, because I am umming and ahhing and looking at the space right now, thinking which way do I have it displayed? Do I have it on the left hand side or on the right hand side, because it will make a big difference with regards to what you can see with the rest of the modular, I think. But the first thing that we are going to do is just run over all of the others very, very quickly. So it's going to turn into a bit of a history of Ninjago with regards to all of the others. Now, if you do have this and you're in the same predicament that I am of, do you think you can make a full length space? Because it is a lot of base plates in total. I think it's 7 in total. It's going to take up a lot of room. So the first one that came out was actually this beautiful Ninjago City. Now, the reason why I mentioned the water to start with is because this one has beautiful water on the back, and you've got this beautiful boat as well. Now, you can see how Lego used to do things slightly differently way back when, because there's actually 41 images on the Lego website of this. Now, this is from the movie. So how they have done things is we've got 2 from the Lego movie to take a look at. Then we have the Shrine of Zane, which is from the Ninjago TV show. And then we have 2 from the Rising Dragon. And I have just found in the UK, if you want to try and find it for yourself, it's on ITVX. And they are all there available to watch for the new Ninjago series. Series 1 and Series 2 are both available. Now, with regards to this one, this might be the easiest picture to show off. You have basically got 2 ways, 2 fascias. So you either have the comic side on show just here, and then the rest of them go across, or you will have the sort of beautiful walkway here with the bridge, and then the rest of them go across. But if you're going to have, basically, as you're looking at it, the left hand side on show, it will then mean the new one will be at the far end on the left hand side. If you have the comic one on show, it means the new one will be on the far right hand side as you stand and look at it. So if you've got them, I think you'll be all right with regards to how I'm trying to explain it. If you don't, there's multiple ways you can actually display all of these. But the other thing is, there's also different ways you can pair them up as well. Now, the paths of these are all designed to connect from one to another. So if you had the docks either this side or the docks down on this side where sweep is, you would have the docks spun one way or the other, and then the path would match absolutely perfect. Now, don't forget, you can actually have 2 fascias on show if you wanted to, or you could spin it round and have the 2 back ends on show. When I say on show, it's basically treat it as a corner modular. So obviously we're looking at right in the middle, so you'd spin the base plate all the way around, and you'll see what I mean as it starts to go, hopefully, in some of these photos. So again, you've got 2 options with regards to the roof that you can have a look at and everything like that. And this set is absolutely stunning. Now, this is a better one with the path, because this way, just here, that's where the pins connect on there, or the pins connect in here, and then you can obviously just pick and choose what it is that you want to do with the docks. Now, you don't necessarily have to have any of these for the new one to work. You can, I do believe, just have the markets. Now, the markets I don't actually have yet. It's on order, but I do not have it yet. So, in fact, I say it's on order. I'm going to be ordering after this video is uploaded, as long as I convince myself enough that I actually do need it. But I'm going to be taking a good look at that one as well as we fly through basically all of these photos. Now, the amazing thing is with this, you've got bits and pieces that are hidden in the side, and also you can change the signage and everything over. And then you've got these really nice builds just up on this bit as well. So The city, I think, with regards to the space on the inside, the colours that are used, the design on the front fascia and the water, so this is the water on the back, it is outstanding. Now, don't forget, it is modular based, so you can take them off easy enough. But again, they're your pinholes. So you can either have the next lot of water coming around, so the water goes this way, and you basically have the docks in front, or you would have it going the other way, where the water actually goes out, and then this is basically your dead end. So you've got two displays to think of, really, depending on which way it is that you want to have them displayed. And I think in a year or two's time, if they do another corner, because we've got two of these corners now, and now we've got this new one that's just come out, which is facing the other way, you would be able, I think, to get them all on a full table, because we are base plate and a half, and a half again for two base plates on the one side, with two base plates on the other. And then we just need the four corners, and that is going to be one seriously good display. But again, we're still going through all these photos. So there's your boat, with the cool minifigures that it comes with. But this is all the detail that I mean with regards to the actual city. So you've got these little bits and pieces just here where you can see that the boat obviously parks up. If you were to connect the pins into the docks just on here, then the docks has the same back end, where it actually has more of those, so you can then have a bigger dock just on the other side if you wanted to. So again, I'm just doing this for myself with regards to, they actually gave us individual photos of every single character that's involved as well. So yes, way back when, I really did like looking at all of these with regards to the new bits and pieces, but you will see how it's all changed, because they've now just added one longer minifigure in, so that's okay. So that's that basically have done this. So you can see that you've got quite a lot of minifigures going across the top. You've got 5, you've got 15, I think. But the cool thing is, because it's from the movie, you get all of these amazing elements with it as well. So you get the metal flake in the sort of water. You've got like a weird shark villain. And of course, they did go with other sets as well, because you had a load of massive mechs and all of that kind of thing. And then you've got Lloyd's outfit hidden in one bit. You've got the croissants, you've got the frogs, you've got the gems, you've got all the fish, you've got sweep, and then you've got all of the others as well. So it's a really, really nice looking thing. And again, that is all 3 different layers. It's a big set as well, because you should just be able to see the height of it just there. It is 24 inches in height. So if I have this one going in first, I think I would still keep the docks in second. I don't think this would match the new one. I don't think this one and the new one would go side by side. I think it's going to be pretty obvious that I'm going to have this on my far left, and I'll have to have the comic on show. So like I said, if it was spun for me with my table, if it was spun this way, I would then have the next one going off to the left, but I would then spin this round so the comic bit is facing there, and then I'd have the docks, I think, as the next one. It then is going to get a little bit interesting with regards to the divide, because then we have the gardens. Now, the garden is a base plate with half a base plate, so you have got the option of adding in the shrine for Zane between the dock and the garden, or you try and get the garden to the dock and then you go the other way. I think it will be better having the shrine and then having the next one. But we'll move on to the next thing, because like I said, I'm just going to basically go over these photos very, very quickly, and then I want to spend a little bit more time on the city markets and the workshop. So the next one that came out a year later, because these are both from the Ninjago movie, is the dock. Now, obviously, straight away, like I said, it has got these bits on the back. So if you wanted to, this path just here clicks in perfectly fine, and then you have got the city of Ninjago, and then the boat would be at the front, but you'd have to obviously extend the water if you wanted to, and you could make yourself a really nice display from the back end. So this is obviously the rear end of the set, so this would go with the other bits and pieces on the water. Now, bizarrely, they have shown the back as the front on this one, because if you were to spin it around the other way, you would have, so they're still showing the back off, but if you spin it around the other way like this, that is the front. So you can see what I mean now about this one being a corner unit. So this will go right at the very, very end. There's your dock. So it goes really high, perfect height all the way down. It comes back up again. And then the next one would be whatever it is. Now, obviously, if you're having it as the back of the box, which I will be doing, and I'm going to try and make a display behind it, it will work perfectly with regards to the path and everything else like that. Now, if you were to put this the other side, you would then go high to small, and I'm not too sure if it looks as nice, but I think it's a nicer fascia on the other side. But I did find it quite interesting that they showed off all the images of the back of this, but then to display it, you would have to spin the other one round, so you don't have any of the fascias on there. But again, you've got all the bunk beds, you've got the Good Morning Ninjago TV stuff, you've got where they train. Obviously, that's quite a funny episode because this guy can't train karate to save his life, so everybody ends up getting hurt. And then again, that's what I mean about the boat. Now, the boat isn't inside the set on this one as it is on the city, so you could then start to make a display on the back. That's why I think if you had this one and the other one back to back, it would actually then give you some more water, and you'd be able to have the boat on the water, so you wouldn't actually need to buy any of the tiles, because you'd have the two corner units either side. You could have it open and then have the Destiny's Bounty going down the middle of the case if you wanted to, or you could have all of these kissed up potentially with the new one. But again, that's the back image. That's the back image. Are we going to see the front? That's still the back. That's it in pieces, and that's it. So yeah, so that gives you options straight away just for those two with regards to how is it that you want to display it. The nicer side is the dock side, but looking at it now, I don't think I could have the dock facing forward. I will be trying it. This will all happen in a Ninjago video. When I get the new one and I start to mess around with it, I will mess around with this being at the front or the back, because I don't know if the paths will connect with it being the other way. It will at the back, obviously, but there's nothing there at the front, and that will potentially connect to some of the water that is on the new one, because on the city it's got the water on the front. So I don't know if I'm now confusing myself or not. But that is the nicer way of doing it. And of course, if you were to display it that way, you could then have more water in front of all of the units. But as you're about to see in a second, all of the units do have water behind them. So you could potentially make a really nice display where it S's through everything. Or you keep it all as a straight line. But I've only just really clocked on. Even though I've been looking at this set, obviously I've had it for years and I've had the box artwork and everything, I've never really noticed that that's how they've actually displayed it. So the path will perfectly connect if it's just like that, but that's all you get. You just get those three fascias, and you've got a little path and a little walkway just going across the front. And then I would have made a display behind it. But I don't know if you could potentially get away with spinning it the other way around and just seeing if it would actually connect up at the top, because the path up here might connect up with the path at the top. So that'll be coming in a video sooner rather than later, because it's going to be, for me now, it's going to be all about Ninjago over the next couple of weeks. So very, very much looking forward to all of that. Now, that's that. So that's your two. If you didn't know they existed, at least now you can backtrack them. And if you've already had them, how do you display yours? Because it'd be quite interesting to see how everybody does theirs. Now, the next one is the Ninjago Gardens. I've messed the R out. I can never ever find this set. I know it's been discontinued, but I could never find it before. Thought it was the Gardens. I've been calling it something wrong the whole time. So you can see, there we go. Oh, Ninjago City Gardens. I do apologise. Right, well, there it is. So this thing is massive, but then this now gives again, a completely different way of doing everything, because you've got the water and everything on the back. So this would work perfectly with the docks, but again, you just, like you've seen on the front of the box, you've got the back of the docks facing forward, and then you've got these the other way, and that won't work. Now, what I will do straight away before we go over the photos is the back of the box. Have they shown? Is the back of the box they show us, or here? Here we go. So this is how they've done it. So we have got this really nice photo of all three of these. Now this set is fantastic. Like I said, this is the one that's just been discontinued, and this is the Zane Shrine. Again, you can put this on either side, and you can spin this around, having it forward or having it backwards. Now, obviously, what they're doing is they're creating a street where they've got it all forwards, but they have done what I said at the start of the video, where you would have this. Now, in between. Now, the reason why you've got this in between is you can see the path just down here, where you got Lloyd with his amazing haircut. You can get into that bit, so you can crawl over and go. If this was spun around the other way, I think this would take you to nowhere, and it would just be the water. But I do think that does look very, very effective like that, because obviously what you're going to be able to do is you're going to have lots and lots of battles going on all across the roof, which is what they've done just up there. So you've got Garmadon with his 4 arms and 4 swords, and then you've got Lloyd and everybody else, and then you've got all the bits and pieces from the movie, and again you've got all the things just going on there. So you can make a really nice diorama up of all of these, I think. Then I think it's going to start getting tricky, because you did have an option of having these two big ones as like a bookend, because the next one that follows, which is the one that we're going to be taking a little bit of a better look at, you could have potentially just slotted it right down on this side here, pushed this one over, and then you'd have just increased the line. But I have heard that these bits across the top don't match up with the new one. Now, there could be a reason for that, because what we are looking at right now is movie and TV show. So this is a mashup of all of the different seasons of the Ninjago. I think there's like 11, at least 11 seasons of this. And it's great because they have, each building is lots of different things from lots of different episodes, and it makes perfect sense. So having the movie at one end and this at the other, with the movie in the middle and that little bit down there, that makes, to me, it makes sense as a perfect diorama, and I can see why the next one wouldn't go with it, because it's the completely different TV show with dragons and all of that kind of thing. But I don't know the best way now to display that one with these, because I have a bad feeling that where you've got all these trees and everything sticking over the front, and you've got the flags and stuff sticking out the side, I don't know if it will reach. So I don't know if this needs to be spun round and go. So that is now where our research of all these bits and pieces is going to begin. But before I do that, and in case you're wondering, or you'd actually like to see this very, very quickly, I'll just go through all of the photos. So you can see all of the Ninjago stuff comes with great minifigure selection. This has like 5,000 pieces. This is very, very tall as well, so it does look very, very good. And again, with regards to this, it's a corner unit. So you can see that they have spun it to the other side of how they displayed the actual Ninjago City. But if you wanted to, you could spin it around the other way, and then the blue bit down here would be your fascia, and then obviously that would then click onto the other side. But again, you can see at the back there's a lot of water, and there's a lot of minifigures all the way across the bottom. And this also did give you the 10th year anniversary of Wu as well, and you've got a different version of sort of Sweep and all of the other people from the TV show. So if you notice, all the outfits are completely different. I saw the film first, and then could not believe the difference in the actual TV show compared to the film. So you can see why it's completely different with regards to the sets and all of this kind of thing, but super, super bright and vibrant. Massive selection of minifigures, as you can see on your screen right now. And again, it does look really, really clean. So again, they've got it down that way. So you would have this bit at the front, and then that bit spins round. It's got nice bits on the front. This is nowhere near as harsh as it sounds, as I say, as good. That's not fair. The Ninjago City is better than this, but this is also fantastic. But obviously this is their third one at it. I found this one a little bit flimsy when you started to put the next sort of couple of the tiers and things on. And again, it's all modular. So you've got bottom level, 1, 2, 3, and then this tall bit up at the top. And this is what I mean by the bit at the back, because you've now got a nice little bit of water. You've got 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole, 4, and then that will obviously kick in either side. But you can also have this forward or backwards, because you've got the 2 pinholes either side. So if you wanted to spin this around the other way, and you have the walking bit, the stepping stones going the other way, you can do. So it gives you a lot of display ability with regards to this. Now this bit also, I would imagine, might be big enough for a little boat to go around. You can see you've got the little steps and everything just in here to get that out. And you do have the water at the front. So you can now imagine if the dock was I don't even know what the correct way is to display the dock. Because if you display it the way they've got it on the box, you would have the back of the dock on show, which I class as the front. Yeah, what they class as the back, sorry, which is the buildings, and they've got a little bit of water. Then the main dock itself will be at the front. So that's really not going to work when it's all pinched together. So you're going to have to try and come up with some sort of really nice displays. I've got the Destiny's Bounty as well from the Ninjago movie, which is almost a perfect minifigure scale thing. So I was going to put that behind everything, where I was going to display mine. So, like I said, this is just a little bit of research for me. But you've got these amazing things here. Look, you've got just where the drips come in for the water. Your 3 studs out from the front on both. You can see what I mean about it just connects up fantastically well with regards to everything. And you can obviously just pick and choose what it is that you want to do. But I think that is the dock. Just looking at the side of that building, I think it is. So yeah, so they've then put that across the back as a completely different thing, and then put that one at the front. I remember them doing that with all these photos. And then there's your 10 years of Woo. There's the cool little bit with the tree with the seat underneath. So I can add those two just there, and then you've got all of those bits. And then again, that's the pitch that we've already seen, which does look great. Or it does look very, very good standalone. So I think I might have to go how they've done it so far, because I don't think this will work at the far end with the 2 new ones, or the 2 current, shall I say, the 2 current ones in the middle. So if I just go back into Ninjago City is what I need to do. It'll pop up with the others. There we go. So this is the one that is currently available, and this is the one that I think I want to get. Well, basically, I need to pick this up in the next 8 days. So this should be interesting. So again, the difference with this is it's on 2 base plates instead of 1. So this is the first set to be on a double base plate. But I can already see. Well, let's see. Have they pictured this with any of the others? I am almost 100% sure. So that's the 2 base plates at the back. Ah, there we go. So they've shown it with, because at this point, the docks and the city had been discontinued. So they have got it going into that side. But I don't think it connects. So you might be better off having the 16 by 32 base plate, which comes with the gardens, the other side. So it splits those two up. And then this is standalone, and then it goes with the other. I am going to have some serious fun trying to put all of these in and do all the bits and pieces. But this comes, again, this just comes with a huge, huge amount of minifigures, but they don't show it. They don't show it connected because, like I said, it's not the same show. And I don't think this bit matches up. Now, you've got the pins up on this one, so it could go in. But I don't know if it would be better with the water underneath or not. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm sure there's photos out already with regards to the sort of best way of having the different bits and pieces. Gone too far on that one. So I can imagine that it is going to be easier or easy enough, shall I say, to do. But I think this can only be displayed the one way. Because I think the rest of the buildings are all the back. So they've taken that out. So you've got no choice. It can only be. It just depends on what way the other ones face. Because I think that's just the same photo as an angle. Yeah, it is. Right, let's just quickly go through these photos, and then we can actually then get tucked in to the newer one. I'm having at the same time desperately trying to do something on my phone and see if I can actually find the images of everything put together, but I don't think I will be able to find it in time. So I'm sort of trying to multitask while doing this at the same time, which, there it is. I have found it. So what I have found is, yeah, so they have literally just this picture that I've seen. There's a orange backdrop like there's in the other videos that the other pictures that we've just seen, and they have just displayed it in order, and they have put the memorial for Zane in between the docks and the market. No, the docks and the big garden, sorry. And then it goes the market, and then the next one just goes beside it. So I think I've got the space to do that. I think. But I'm pretty sure if I wanted to have this bit connected to the next bit, you need to get some of the pieces. Now, this obviously is slightly different because this is modular to a degree where the bits and pieces pull out the top, but you've also got these side bits that come out on the, obviously the side, they all pull out. Now, the new one is completely different because the new one is all of that, I do believe. I don't think it's modular either. So you've got all of these different minifigures and all the people from, obviously, this show. I'm sure it is the Rising Dragon. Yes, it is, because he's in it. So the only thing is you don't get Ryu, which is the little dragon, which is a shame. But in this one, you get two in ninja form. If you went to the Lego BAM when this first got released, you can actually get these two in ninja form as well, and you can actually get all of the missing bits and pieces from it. And you've got loads of different characters in here. So there's a very, very good selection of minifigures on there. But yeah, I just don't know. Well, clearly it must go, but it looks like you can only do it on the one way. Because if I, for example, wanted to put this one the other side and then have the new one in the middle, I don't think that's going to work. Actually, it's not designed to do that anyway. But I just don't know if that can be done with this. But like I said, there will be a video coming sooner rather than later, and I am just giving myself ideas now because it doesn't matter what connects either side of this one, because you're not going to lose any fascia. because you've got the pinhole down the side, you've got the pinhole down the side, you're going to see all of that. Now, the reason why I've just said that and then moving on to the next one is because I think you might lose some. Oh, please don't do that. You might lose the actual side of the buildings. I think you might lose quite a bit because before we look at anything else, the way I've got this photo in front of me, which is not a fantastic photo, but at the same time you can kind of see, is the crane is spun round on itself. And then this bit here is the front. So you can basically, how this is facing this way, it will be facing t'other way. Because there is pinholes. Got a pinhole there. And you've got a pinhole there. Now, I would imagine, because the way that I am looking at this photo, there has to be another pinhole behind it. So there's got to be a pinhole that you can't see. So you have got the option, potentially, of this is your front, and then you can just carry on down this side where the mech is, and you carry on this side, and obviously it's an inverted corner. Or if it was on a square table, potentially you got pinholes on the other side, and then you can go off the other way if you wanted to, I think. But if I remember rightly, did have a look, and I'm not 100% sure if I could find them, because just how that image is, it does look like it. Now, before we get... Yeah, we'll do it in the same order. Before I get really in depth on this one, back of the box, is it pictured? There's the back of the box. Oh no, this is the one that just says expand your city. They don't tell you how to do it. So there's a few bits and pieces going on this one, because obviously you can see you've got the big mech just up on here, but you can put its body armor on or keep it stripped down if you wanted to. I haven't got to this episode yet on sort of the first 4 or 5 episodes in. It's very, very, very good, to be honest. So it's kind of a bit like, I guess it's a bit like Spider-Man, the third Spider-Man film, where everything gets mixed up. You've got different villains on different bits and pieces. It is pretty cool. So let's go through this, because this is what this one is all about. This is the one that I am looking forward to. So it comes out in 8 days. It comes out a week Saturday. So you know it comes out on the 1st of March. And there is a lot going on with this. Now, I know a lot of people weren't as much of a fan of this one compared to the others. And to be honest, I can see why. Because it's not as much going on with it, maybe, or whatever else. But I think it's going to be quite accurate to the actual TV show. So if you've actually seen the TV show itself, and you've got a couple of the little minifigures in there, I have read in the comments, because like I said, I haven't got to this one yet, that there is 1 or 2 minifigures missing that they could have added in. So hopefully by the time I actually get this thing built, I would have seen all the episodes and there'll be know that would be going on. Now, it's Ninjago. It's going to have a ton of stickers on. And the nice thing about this is that they triple layer the base. So you've got a grey base, then you'll have a load of black that you put down, then you add the water to give it that dark effect. It makes the base a lot more sturdy as well, and they've done that on all of the others, so you've got that nice colourful texture. You then got all the different lily pads and the frogs and everything down at the bottom, and then you can see you've got noodles and eggs and things being eaten up on this one. I like this one because it's completely different. I like the fact that this is the first one where you got a path that is up and over and it comes back round again. And then you have got, it works with the others, but as a standalone set, I can see why people were thinking, well, if this is going to be their first one, it doesn't go by itself, whereas all of the others kind of went by themselves, and then you just waited for the next one to come out. Now, Again, with regards to the path, you have got the two ways you can go. So you can go all the way up, so you can see, get up the stairs, all the way across, all the way back down again. So this is what I mean about, do I, for myself, have it at the far right as you're looking at them, or does it go far left? But I am confused, kind of, with where the pinholes are currently to how they're stood on those steps. Because it looks like to me that this should come across, goes down, and it connects to the next one, which is behind that way. Because if you had this one stuck to the side, you've got all of this stuff in the way where it wouldn't connect. You would still, I think you'd still see, you'd see everything apart from this bit here, wouldn't you? You wouldn't really, you wouldn't get to see, you wouldn't get to see that. But they've done it across the bottom, like they did on the dock, and they've done it across the top. So when we get to the next couple of photos a little bit further down, I'm going to try and keep an eye out for the pin. Yeah, they must have. They must give you the option to do that. Why you can do that, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it just means you can have a corner going that way or a corner going that way, which again is the kind of things you can do with kind of the other ones as well, depending on which way it is that you wanted to display them. But I think I'm going to have it as a long line to start with, and then we might get a little bit creative with a bigger. I'm going to need a slightly bigger table if I want to do it as a sort of internal, a display on itself is the thing that I'm thinking of. Right, so let's see what little things we can see across the bottom. So you've got the little workshop, you've got the little bits and pieces up there, you've got the I've had an accident brown going across. You've got some really nice looking minifigures in this as well. Because like I was saying, it's an Ninjago set, so it's packed with stickers. Do not moan and complain, because there's so many things that actually add to the set, they can't be tiled. So every single one, it will start at the bottom. So we will have, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, without even trying. And then you've got more there, 18, 19, and so on. So all of the paths and everything up here, they're all different stickered, but it is its own language, and each thing says something completely different. So they're not just going to give you a tile for one thing because it just say the same thing over and over, because it's an advertising board. And you can see as we come up a little bit higher, you then got more of them. So up there, round on that bit, there, another one there, on there, both sides, more than likely, that one, that one, that one, and there, yeah. So just be aware that they do have a lot of stickers. And I also understand that this is not as good a value as the previous one, because the other one has more minifigures and more pieces. This is a slightly higher price point, but they have done a price increase on a lot of their sets again for 2025. But it's the current day and age that we are in, I'm afraid. So as everything keeps going up and up and up, everything we enjoy will keep going up and up and up as well. But what they have brought back on this one, which I thought was missing from the gardens, is you've got these cool little builds here with all the little bright bits. So when the light comes through, it does look really nice, because you've got a nice one on the dock, you've got a nice one on the city. There is 1 or 2 little bits on the gardens, but not as much as what was kind of stand out to the little bits and pieces. It'd be interesting to see what this one looks like when light gets put through. And of course, you've then got the crane up at the top. Now, again, you've got 2 options. You either have the mech off it, because I'm assuming that is an important thing to the actual TV show, because the TV show actually starts off with basically everything that was shown in episode 1 was every single set that got released, with all sorts of different mechs and everything like that race each other and all that kind of thing. So I can see how they've made it extremely Lego set heavy, just with all the bits and pieces they have released. But with this one, I don't know how important this is being stood there, because potentially you've got the option of, if there is another thing that goes with this display that they either going to release after this, you could just have this one walking around, and then you can have another one in the process of getting built up, because you do have some of the team obviously there, and obviously you've got Pixel and Zane, which are the two Nindroids, one there and one there, and it doesn't look like you've got the rest of the Ninjago crew. So I think to get the rest of the Ninjago crew from the Rising Dragon, you needed the bounty to get all of them in, I think. Could be wrong, because it was a while when that one came out, and I was very, very tempted then to pick it up because it had the little dragon in and everything else, but because I didn't know anything about it, and I couldn't find where to watch it because it wasn't on Netflix at the time. I didn't even realise it was on ITVX until I found it completely by mistake the other day. So you have got, from the Ninjago team, you got two, because I guess Pixel does help them out, but you've got two of them, and then potentially Lloyd's mum, if that's her in the green, which is this one down here. Whereas the rest of them, they're all different characters from the actual TV series, which is, again, one of the first times you don't have a big set with a lot of them in. So it's something a little bit different. All right, moving on. So this is still the side. Okay, so that's a bit of a better look at the path. So yeah, it does kick off that way. Or does it? Does this bit up here link, and you can just take this barrier off where you got the heart? And I wonder if it's the same on the other side. I'm very, very intrigued by this with regards to the way I can display it, because it would at some point give you the opportunity to almost snake it, because you could have the corner straight, another corner, which would be this one going into a straight. So you could have it as like a nice little maze rather than a full-blown straight line, if you had the table space, obviously, because doing that, I keep going on about it, it then allows you to have a lot more with regards to the water diorama. But again, you've got all the detail and everything. You can see on the side, you've got the nice little windows and everything. But if you were to have a 32 base plate attached to that, you wouldn't see anything on the side just there. And of course, you've got the little signage and everything just on that bit. There he is. And then it does, there's obviously, again, you can see 1, 2, another 3. Sort of like a puppet master type thing going on this one. You've got the cool minifigures. And what I have learned very, very quickly from the start of the show, because it is exactly like the latest Spider-Man film, what used to be villainesque type ones are now just normal characters just walking around. So they've all the worlds have merged, because the first 2 episodes was the season opening called The Merge. The ninjas are stuck on different planets, and we've got all of these as well. So that is the character selection, because that one, I would imagine, would go well with the offices from the other one. But we're already at picture 10, and we still haven't seen the back yet. That looks like it's all up and going with regards to all the minifigures and everything going across the top. That's the crane, obviously. So the crane mechanism works at the front, so you can see it spins around. It's the same thing they put into like the Harry Potter bit. You've got that bit on the side, which is obviously the next sort of guide pin. That's the path that goes across the top. I can't see. Oh, they have to. There it is. There's the pin. So they have got one. So they've got a pinhole at the top. So they've got a pinhole on the side, and they've got a pinhole. So there has to be a way that if you wanted to, you could have them going the other way, but this is your front. So it's kind of like the docks all over again. But the problem is with that is that because you've now got these pull-out units, and obviously you can see that the studs go right up to the top, it's just going to be a flush fascia. So what you would see if you wanted to display it that way is everything that we're looking at now in the corner. So you've got 4 ways to display this, like you have. I'm assuming you've got. Yeah, you've got the pinholes down the side. Yes, you've got the pinholes down there. Got a pinhole there, and we know we've got them on the other way. So you got this will go at least 3 ways, if not 4. But because they've got all of these stuck across the bottom, but that's your 32 studs. There's your hole up that side, so there's that way. There's your hole on there. We know that there's one on the other side because that's where the path goes, and there's one here to go that way. So again, the huge difference is with this is it doesn't look like it comes apart either. It just looks like you've got these removable rooms, which potentially from a photo opportunity might be a little bit easier. But then at the same time, like that, for example, is not the biggest of space. So that looks like it's Zane. Now, but again, potentially, I am thinking of what we've seen from the TV show. This actually might be where they're stuck. Because all the ninjas and everything have been split up, so there is a potential from that. And I'm sure that is the temple of Spinjitzu just on there, which is I have to add at some point, I think, because there is something else I want to have a quick look at after. So I want to see I want your opinion on what you think of how it scales. So if I go left to right, I would go city, figure out the docks, which way it's going to spin. Then I'd have the temple. Then I'd have the big garden. Then it goes into the market, and then it will go into this at the other end, which would work because I don't think this is as tall as the others. I think is about the same height as looking at this photo. It looks like it's the same height as the purple bit on the market. So doesn't help that it hasn't actually, this is one of the first sets in ages, it hasn't got the size on the box. Why have they now, please don't say that's the thing that they're going to stop doing, because the height of these, especially what you can see the backdrop for me, the slanty roof and how hard it was to get the 8080 up on there, it could literally only go in one place because I can't put it on the sides of anywhere else because the ceiling drops down too much. So this will be purchased. I think this will be a day one. I've got some points saved up and I've got some Christmas money and it won't cost me anything. So I can't really go wrong. Can't really go wrong with that. It's technically a free set, so I can't go wrong with that one. But that is coming on the 1st of March. Lots and lots of different bits and pieces going on with this. Now, something else that have caught my eye, and it's caught my eye for a long, long time. Just have to type it in. There isn't an R in it. I knew there wasn't an R. We do this, go to this. Let's find it that way. It's been out a little while. This. Now, I don't know how important this is. I also don't think I realise that there's an expansion pack for it. Because if you start coming down, you then got all these amazing videos, and you can see it's in water, which is a beautiful looking thing. And you have got, obviously this is it's just it's obviously a tournament that they do in every series, but I don't know with regards to the height of this, how this will scale with the others. So I am tempted, but down here it says build big or start small, and you can expand it. Now I don't know how you can expand it because it's with this. So I'm assuming that they're going to have like Technic pins covered over, but this will be the missing characters from the other arena. So I think what I'm going to have to do is build up all of the 2 other sets, the new one and the market, which is what, 11,000 pieces. Get both of those in, see what space is left, and then in the display, do I have this up on a little shelf and just put it on a blue shelf with a lot of water tiles? or do I have it just off to the one side? Because I think if I had this higher up on a shelf and managed to somehow find the Spinjitzu temple, which I'm going to have to show you, I think would be incredible. There's absolutely no way I know I can type in. I'm just going to type in Ninjago temple and hope it pops up because I can't spell Spinjitzu and it's just, there it is. Temple Air Jitsu. I do apologize. I thought it was Spinjitzu. So this. So again, you can imagine all water going underneath the bridge, water all around it. It's up on its own little shelf. The box sells it really because it's just the water in front of it and it's on ground. And again, this is a really, really very pretty thing. I didn't actually, this came and went before I saw the TV show. So that's something that would have to be backtracked. 2,000 pieces, 70751. 12 minifigures. It does look very good. And I think Woo minifigure outfit is new for fall of 2015. And you get an exclusive postman with it as well, which is that one just there. So they always do different lineage, and obviously we know how it all works. But if this was up, it is supposed to be higher up because it's in the temples, and obviously you've got to walk up hills and mountains and all that kind of thing. So I think potentially either side of my Batman artwork, I'd have one on the one side, one on the other, have the Ninjago strip in a long line, and they'll go in. So I think I planned it. I think we have managed to plan a Ninjago display. I think that's going to be the best way of doing it. I'm just looking at it now. Where the city is, it won't fit on the other side anyway. So we have to kind of end with this one, I think. But it does look like this building here, so this part just there, is the height of this bit on here. And then it does look like they kind of come down. So it goes up and comes back down and comes back up again. So the docks isn't very tall. It's a beautiful thing, but the docks itself isn't very tall compared to the others. But it's a big chunky thing. So what I am going to be planning, my plan of attack is to build up and make up all of the Ninjago bits and pieces. There's a Ninjago diary coming, which is a warning to you. It's 4 hours long. I've just finished it the other day, and I've managed to repair all of my broken Ninjago sets. It's a long story, but they're now fixed. So I need to get both of these as soon as possible, and then make up this display, and we will do a what looks best with what. Because I think if they come out in order, they will work. But I'm still finding it very, very difficult to imagine this either in the middle, because I don't think it will work, or the other side of something else. I don't think this would just go beside the gardens. I think this is very much like the city and the docks, where those two are a perfect pair. I think this will pair up with the market. And again, because it's under the Rising Dragon, it makes sense for it to do that. But I would quite like to try and have a bit of a play and sort of a mix and match of all of the Ninjago sets. So I will keep you up to date with that. But for the sake of me and my brain thinking how much work I've got to do over the next few weeks with regards to building these things, the space has already been made. I'm looking at 3 rebuilt sets already, and I'm quite happy that they are all done. Get the next 2 in, then figure out the best way to put the boat, because that's the other thing I've got to think of with the dock as well. And because it's a big Destiny's Bounty boat from the actual film. And then we can go from there. But from the think we've covered everything. Let me know what you think with regards to the smaller ones. Will that one scale? That's the other thing I want your opinion on. Will the Tournament Temple City scale with these? I think it would be fine, especially if it's a little bit higher up and everything else. I don't think it would look right on the floor. I think this is something that needs to be higher up on something else. I mean, I have potentially could use the Harry Potter track because it could sit on the base plate there, but I don't really think that will work. So there's bits and pieces that I could do later on in 2025, but the focus point for now, I think, is going to be getting the two larger sets and just getting them done over the next sort of couple of weeks, and just keep your eyes peeled for all of the Ninjago bits and pieces. So I think for now that is it, and I am done. But what we will do is we will very, very quickly just double check all the giveaways and things like we traditionally do on the Lego news stuff. So it's this, the website itself has actually changed. So you've now got these things that sort of highlight as you go around. So this is something that's slightly new. They've gone back to promoting the current modular. And then they've got all of these just underneath. They've got the Harry Potter, the Disney Castle, and the new Lego Ideas. And they've got the features sets underneath. And you can also shop by theme now. So you've got Disney, Marvel, City Ideas, Harry Potter, Garden Collection, Star Wars, and Icons. And it just keeps going and going and going. What others are buying? Then you've obviously got the botanicals. This is all on the homepage. So you've got to really scroll down to see all the little bits and pieces. And of course, you've got lots of bits and bobs to redeem for yourself. Now, if there are three... I can just click on offer. Where's the offer? Shop by sets. Oh, I haven't taken that way, have they? I can find it on my phone. Discover. No. Right, we just click on that. Hopefully it'll just take us to no. Where is it? There was, well, there should be. Never mind. So there's a few things. You've got the Cinderella mini garden, which is it ends on the 28th. It's £35 more spending for Lego Disney stuff. The next one is the waffle stand for Lego Friends. You have to spend £35 or more with Lego Friends, and obviously all of this now excludes pre-orders. Police water scooter will be for Lego City, same thing, £35 for that one. Or you get the moving truck. So how this has come back again, I don't know, but this is for a modular ages ago. They say that this is actually valued at £21.99. People sell this for a lot more money than that, but you have to spend £160 or more to be eligible for the moving truck, and I think that runs out soon. Oh, not currently available. So it's gone. Well, that's not very good, is it? So you don't get a giveaway. Look at all the drama at the end of this video. See, so apparently now there's no giveaway purchase over the price of £160. So they might change it to something else potentially. We shall see. Right, guys, I'm waffling. So that is it, and I am done. So if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you're an Ninjago fan and you're looking forward to the new set, or you're sat on the fence or whatever else, then obviously please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How are you going to display yours as well? Have you got the space to display it as one long length? Because it's a very, very long area it takes up. Like I said, it's about 7+ base plates in total. Or are you going to be trying to go for more of a diorama display where it's all going to be going around on the table? So fill me in the comments on, obviously, as this video has been going through. But for now, that is it, and I am done. So guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I hope to catch you next one.